Hi, and welcome to another episode of At Home with LA. I'm so excited today. I am here with Joe, who is an astrologer, who is going to be doing some upcoming events at the shop, so stay tuned for that. But I am so looking forward to talking to you because I have been exposed, I guess is a good word, to astrology charts since I was a little kid. I remember our neighbor did my chart when I was really little. And I always think back to a couple of things that she said. She had, and it fascinated me that just from this chart, she could tell all of this stuff. I was probably 10 or 11. She said that I wasn't going to go to college. She said I was going to marry someone I knew from my childhood. And she said that people would know who I was, but not like I wasn't going to be an actress or something, but I was going to do something very important and people, like a lot of people would know who I am. And I did. I married someone that I grew up with. I did not go to college, and hopefully I'm doing something good. So I'm so excited to have you here.
Thank you.
And before we start, just a little bit about yourself.
Well, I've been studying astrology since 1980, and I'm a retired psychotherapist. I did family therapy, individual therapy. So I would often bring my understanding of astrology and psychology together in my work. And I have been studying astrology, like I said, for 30 years, and the more I study it, the more I'm learning. That's what I love about it. It's an endless field for self-knowledge.
So I will share with you that Kyle, who those of you who watch all the time know it's my boyfriend, and my fabulous assistant Sheila, they are like so into astrology. Nothing happens, I just want you guys all to know, nothing happens in this healing center without the two of them whipping out a chart for something. And when we moved to our new location, the two of them were driving me crazy. They're like, you cannot open the door until this time on this day. And they're trying to explain to me about the planets, and I'm like, just give me the short version.
Right.
So what is the benefit of a birth chart?
That's a good question.
Or what is a birth chart?
Right. So a birth chart is a snapshot of where the planets in our solar system were in terms of what sign they were in and what relationship they had to each other on the day you were born and the minute, hour you were born and the place you were born. So, and it's based on the assumption that we're all interconnected. We're made of stardust, and that for some reason the energies in our solar system and in the whole universe also are resonating within us, in our bodies, and every dimension of our being, our physical bodies, our emotional body, our mental bodies, our spiritual bodies. There are these archetypal energies that are everywhere, and that we're connected to it. And that to me gives me a great deal of delight and joy to study these cosmic rhythms and how they affect our planet, how they affect individuals. And it's not like it's predetermined, like the planets are causing us to do certain things. But what it tells us is that there's a sense of oneness in the universe, and that as above, so below is what the medieval astrologers used to say. And it makes us realize that we're not alone. You know, everyone has. There's only a certain number of stories, they say. There's only 3 or 4 stories but people you feel like you're alone. You're struggling with your issues, and you're disconnected from other people. You're disconnected from the world. And the beauty of astrology for me is to realize, no, that's not true. We're all connected, and that there's a reason and a meaning for our struggles, and that there's a constant learning going on. And that there's these rhythms and cycles that are taking place constantly in our solar system, and we're connected to that. And these rhythms and cycles are reflected in our lives. And to me, it's a beautiful study for that, just for that reason.
So you can have a birth chart for a person,
right,
as well as you can for a business.
Exactly.
And I've also, I remember when I was thinking about moving to North Carolina, a friend of mine who does astrology did South Carolina, North Carolina, and for some reason he did Georgia too, and he was like, don't move to Georgia. Not that there's anything wrong with Georgia if you're living there, it's just not, it didn't resonate for my energy.
Right.
So you not only can use astrology for the birth chart of the person, but if someone's looking to open a business or if someone's looking to relocate, these are charts that you can check for information that's going to tell you what kind of information can someone get from their chart.
So the fundamental principle of astrology is the day and the minute you start something, it's the birth. So whether it's the birth of a human being, the birth of a tree, or the birth of a new business, on that day you capture the energies that are existing in the solar system on that day. You capture it for the whole life of the project. So if you do you cast a chart for, let's say you're opening your business at noon on October 5th, 2015, you do a chart for that moment. That's the birth chart of your business, and the energies that are captured will be in effect for the whole life of that business. And it's the same for an individual. And also for location, it's called relocation astrology. We can pick certain, based on our birth chart, you can pick different places in the world where certain planetary energies are more prominent. Maybe in Georgia, Saturn was on your career house, okay? So not so good, but if you moved down to South Carolina or to Fiji Island, maybe you'll have Jupiter on your, so you're going to have more luck career-wise. So you can, a birth chart, that's why where you were born is so important, because it's the time of day, the month, the time of day, and the place are essential.
So how do you, obviously, opening a business, when they did the chart and they were like, okay, this day is not good to open, I just picked another day to open and I opened the door at a different time. That's easy enough. But clearly you can't change the time you were born.
Right.
So if there's things in your chart that are coming up that you're not happy with, what do you do in that case? How does the chart help me when it's telling me something that I might not want to hear?
Right. So the birth chart will show us what we've come into this life with.
Okay.
On all levels. It shows our talents, our skills, our abilities that we carry forward into this life. We've already developed them. But we all have areas that need to be balanced out. We've done something too much, or we've neglected something, or some habit patterns that need changes, and that's shown in your birth chart. So these are areas, everyone has these challenges. If a birth chart shows it's too easy, there's not enough challenges, then that person may never accomplish much. They'll just sit on the couch all day and watch TV. Everything comes easy. I've noticed the most successful people in the world are ones that have really challenging birth charts. And by challenge, I mean there's stress between 2 or 3 planets. They're at angles that indicate stress. And that's like a pearl, that's like a grain of sand in the oyster. It provokes you to take action and to do something about it. And it's through that irritation that you create the pearl. And so that's why it's good to have difficulties reflected, because it will motivate us to go out and get to the bottom of the problems. So a birth chart isn't like, it's not like fate, you can't do something about it. No, these are, as you evolve, as you mature through your whole life, the way a certain planetary aspect shows up when you're young, it's going to be very different than when you're 45 years old, because you've had now 40 years of working with this.
Right.
And what was a problem when you're a teenager becomes an asset, a strength.
I
It
love
evolves,
that.
it moves. And
Yeah.
that's the beauty of astrology. It's not static. Okay, you've got, the birth chart shows that when you were young, let's say you have a Saturn moon aspect. That shows you got a difficult childhood, difficult relationship with your mother. Your emotional needs were not being met in your family. But that will drive you to learn how to be self-sufficient, how to get your needs, how to become more your own person. So the way that manifests when you're a teenager, you may go through periods of severe depression in your youth, but when you're 45 or 50, you could be a very skilled and competent psychotherapist. You will help people with their issues because you've dealt with it.
And that's what I love, because I say to you guys all the time, like someone asked me the other day, well, what is Spirit Quest about? I go, Spirit Quest, the entire concept of Spirit Quest is about helping you to be the best you that you can be. So it's not about sitting there and never wanting to hear anything that you might not want to hear, but it's getting all the information so that you can make the best choices. And I have said this for almost 20 years now. Some of the greatest things that have happened to me have come from the most difficult, challenging times. And, I say this all the time, that when I'm going through it, I'm not going, thank you for the hard lesson. But when I look back in hindsight, I go, wow, if that wouldn't have happened, I would never be where I am now. So it's about finding that balance and that support system. So if someone's watching this and they've kind of had an interest in astrology and they're thinking about having a chart done or even learning astrology for themselves, what do you want to say to them?
I think everyone should have their birth chart done. This is your owner's manual for this lifetime. It is so valuable in terms of self-knowledge. Socrates said, know thyself. And I really think an astrological birth chart is a tool for knowing ourselves. It's one of the best that's out there. It's an objective viewpoint on ourselves with multiple levels of meaning on the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual levels. And it covers every aspect of your life. You know, what do people want? They want to have a happy life. They want love. They want a good relationship. They want a successful career. They want a nice home. They want happiness. And your birth chart will, and they want friendships. They want to travel, etc. And the birth chart will show what areas of life those things will come easily. What areas, in all those areas of life, you may have to work harder. When they will come to you. All that is there. And also on a deeper spiritual level, it shows what are the principal soul lessons that we're here to learn. Okay, so I think it's a great gift to yourself to have your chart done. And I just want to emphasize that it's not a static thing. Yes, your soul chose this particular day and this place to come into the earth plane, and you capture that moment. But it's a blueprint for who you are, but it also evolves with time. So it has multiple layers of meaning in the present, but an astrologer can see how the birth chart will unfold and unpack through times and what are going to be the key periods in your life. The other thing that I find really valuable, my clients find valuable, everyone goes through hard times. And it's usually Saturn is the cosmic cop. Saturn will gives a sense of frustration and blockage. Saturn is an energy that forces us to get to the bottom of our problems and fix them. All right, and it's not a time where you're bouncing around feeling happy. It's like swimming upstream. But the beauty of astrology is that it can show this is a period that's going to have a beginning and an ending. Usually, a difficult Saturn transit will last for a year. And so an astrologer can say, well, it's during this time period that you'll be learning these lessons. And use this time wisely, because when you look back, you're going to complain and shake your fist at the sky during this time. But when you look back, as you said, you'll be so grateful for what the universe has taught you during this time. But when you're in the middle of it, Saturn restricts our faith. Jupiter expands our faith in the universe. Oh, all the good things are coming. Oh, thank you. It's so easy. I'm swimming downstream. But Saturn makes us lose our faith in the generosity of the universe. It constricts it. And to know that this is what's happening, and it's this period of time usually lasts for a year and a half. So don't give up. Don't lose hope. Okay, so people lose hope, you lose faith. But in astrology, you can say it's during this period, these 12 to 18 months that you'll be working with these issues, and it's going to end, and you'll be a better person. So that's a great gift to give to somebody, and to give yourself to know.
I was just going to say that I think that is the most amazing gift, because I think that when you're going through difficult times, especially a lot of you watching are extremely old souls and very intuitive. So we always know on an intuitive level that we're going to be okay. Right. But how nice is it to have someone validate for you that it's around this time that you will be okay. Right. So you just kind of have that little sense of, yes, okay, I can get through this a little further. There's so much we could talk about with this, and we're definitely going to talk with Joe again, but we just wanted to kind of do a quick little introduction and let you guys meet him. But I have to say, the one thing that you said today that I absolutely love is the owner's manual.
Yeah.
I love that. So I don't know about you guys, but I definitely need an owner's manual for myself. And I think, can I borrow that to give to other people so they know how to deal with me a little better? So if you guys need information or you have any comments, we'll have Joe's information, contact information. And like I said before, he is going to be working at the shop. Doing some workshops and meditation classes and things like that.
And also chart readings for individuals.
Yes, chart readings. So definitely check the website for more information. And if you've never had a chart done, you don't have your owner's manual, get going. So thank you. Go ahead. Anything else you want to say about it? Absolutely.
I do charts for individuals. I do charts for children. I've had new parents ask me to do their newborn's chart, and I interpret it a certain way. And that's really valuable for parents. They love it. And I've had parents, I've seen people 20 years after I've done the chart and say, everything you said was so true.
Yeah, and that's awesome because you know the best way to
it's a great gift
help
also
that
for a friend
child.
who's just had a baby. And also I do charts for relationships. Comparing two charts will tell you where the energy flows smoothly and naturally between two people and where there's friction. So, and also, as you mentioned in the beginning, charts for start up. When's a good time to start a new business? When's a good time to move? Etc. So there's 4 different kinds of charts. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for watching. I hope you found it informative. And remember, until we meet again, remember to be great. Thank you for watching.